Total number 32. So let's start this file handling in QBasic. So till now in this QBasic session, we have learned how to create a program. Previously, we learned how to create a simple program, and then we learned how to create programs using a procedure, sub procedure and function procedure. Along with that, we learned about a lot of statements and functions as well. So this, and also the looping statements, do loop, for loop, while loop, right? And the most common functions are mid function, len functions, all this, they all were helping us to make some, relatable programs. Okay, so now here, this is our chapter 11, QBasic, file handling in QBasic. So basically, what is this file handling? So let's go through the definition first. So it says, let me take this up. File handling, it's a process. Simply, file handling is what? A process to create a data file, write data to the file, and read data from the specified data file. So in this file handling session, what we are doing is creating. All right, so we are creating a file, and then we can write in that file, and we can retrieve the data. Retrieve means when needed, it can be used. So simply, this is the definition for the file handling. In file handling, what we do, we create a data file. Simply, we create data file, writing something on that file, all right, inserting some datas, and later on we read data as well from the very same file or a different file that has to be specified. So next, before talking about the data file, okay, so we must clear about this file thing. So you can see an icon of a file here, or you see a folder. So the definition says file is the collection of data or instruction stored in a storage media. What is file? It's simply a collection of instruction that is stored in media. Media means what? Our hard disk drive, in our computer memory drive, it is stored. So basically, there are two common types of files used in QBasic programming language. Number one, program file. What is program file? It is simply the instructions. Instructions, or say a collection of program statements, are the program file. So, and there is next is a program file extension is added to a file name by the program itself. Jessica, could you help me please with this extension? I forgot, what is extension? Please help me out.
Sir?
Extension. A program file extension is added to a file name by the program itself. So what do we mean by this extension? So
Like .docs,
yeah, oh,
.pptx.
good, thank you. So the last name of a file. All right, so a file name is divided into two portions, right? This you can see here, example .bas or .c, right? So we have seen before something like this, your file name .doc, right? So that file name previous before a dot or a period or a full stop, that is your file name, and after that dot, full stop, and period, that is known as extension name, the last name of a file through which we know that what is the type of a file. Okay, in normal language, if we say this is just like your surname. Okay, so now till now, whatever the programs you have written so far, okay, in modular programming or QBasic programming, previous lessons, they all were a program file. Okay, so how they were program file? So once we did a coding, we have written a program, all right, and we run that, we execute that program as well. हामीले त्यो program run पनि गर्यो, and त्यो program run गर्दाखेरि we provided some values as well, right? So for example, that sum of digits we provided there, number 25, right? And त्यसको answer sum आएको थियो 7, 2 plus 5, that is 7. We all knew that. But if we want to retrieve that file or that values, we won't be able to retrieve that. त्यो values हामीले फेरि हेर्न मिल्दैन. All right, this program file is only the instructions to do a specific task. So now to retrieve that values, to store that values, so we have to create a data file. All right, so let's see here, this is a data file. Okay, so whatever the data we provide, that is stored in computer hard disk. It is going to be stored in computer hardware. So logically, this is the way, this is the table how data are managed, arranged logically. All right, so see here, this is Rajan, serial number 1 is Rajan, and his age is 32, and his sex is male, and occupation teacher, lives in Kathmandu. All right, so this horizontal, serial number 1 horizontal, second row, this is record. All right, this is record, and the columns you see serial name, name, age, sex, occupation, and address. This is field address, or say a field. So see here, this Pokhara is a field address field, and this character, this L in Bootwell, you see a character. So simply what happens when we create a data file, so that is going to be stored in our hard disk. हाम्रो hard disk मा गएर बस्छ. All right, suppose we are going to create a program, say what is your name, so I will provide Rajan, right? So for that purpose we have to create a data file, not that previous programs. All right, and logically all this data is going to be stored in this manner in our hard disk. All right, so basically what happens, this file consists what? Records. Record consists what? Field. Field consists what? Characters. So all this combines make a data file, and they all are related. See, related information of Rajan, Reena, Arjun, and Tara. All right, data file is a collection where related information is stored in terms of record. Simple as that. Example, we'll see .txt or .dat file. These are the data files, and then previous program files, examples say .bas, .c, and .cpp. All right, these two are the extension name of this .c is extension name of a C program file, and last one, third one is CPP. It is of C++ programming. All right, so now there are two types of data file in QBasic. So first we learn what is file handling. Simply, file handling is what? Creating a data file, and inside that data file we need to store some values, right? And then we can view that data file again and again. That is simply a file handling. And in file handling, so there is a file, two types of file, program file and data file. So mostly we'll be learning about data files now. So there are two types of data file in QBasic. The very first one is sequential access data file. In this one, in this data file, what happens? File reading and writing operations on data sequentially from the beginning to the end of the file. So in this data file, what happens if you wants to like read data? Suppose let's take an example of our class. Okay, so in our class 10, our roll numbers are managed according to alphabetical order, right, from A to Z, right? A Abriti, Z say Jayan Malik. All right, so now in this sequential access data file, your type code data file, now what happens if I want to access, say, Ravina? All right, if I want to access Ravina, I have to go through first Abriti, and then who is next? Aaron, and then B, what? B, say Bobby, and then C. Like this, I have to go through all the data to reach Ravina, to access her informations. So because of this reason, data access is slow. All right, in this sequential access data file, यो कारणले गर्दा access to Ravina is slow process. So now there is next random access data file. So in this case, what happens? A data file performs reading and writing operations randomly in any order. So that means if I want to access Ravina, I don't have to go through Abriti and then Bobby like this. I will directly access her data. All right, I can write new information about her also. So this is the basic difference between sequential and random access data file. So random access data file is quite faster in comparison with sequential access data file. So it will be more clear with this one. You see here, this one, suppose this is Rabina, right? So we are accessing her directly in random access case. But in case of sequential access, we have to go through each data. So for this reason, our access process is slow. All right, so this is done with this. So now how to create the data files, right? So there are statements used in sequential data file. So the very first is open statement. So what this statement will do, just like previous statements, let, rem, input, print, close, right, and exit, like them, here is open statement we are going to use. So this statement is used to name and open a data file. So syntax is here, open file name, for mode as file number. This is the syntax you see. So when we are going to create a file, right, first we need to open that by some name. Say open Jessica for mode. Okay, mode. What is mode here? Mode is the purpose of opening data file. So now I have opened a file named Jessica. Now what I want to do with Jessica, right, with that file? See, modes. The common modes of opening data files are output, input, and append. So we are going to open a file for three modes. First, output, second, input, and third, append mode. There are three modes. All right, and there is a file numbers that is given to a file. All right, and throughout a program, same file has to be the same number. Okay, if we miss the number is different. If we are opening a file number 1 and we are closing a file number 2, that program will not work. So here, see, mode, output mode. So we created a file Jessica, all right, jessica.txt, say. So now there is certain mode, in which mode I am opening up. If I am opening with output mode, that means it is creating a new sequential file. Okay, so that means I have created a file, its name is Jessica, and I'm going to write on that file something. I'm going to write over it. And there is input mode as well. So input mode says reads, retrieves, and display data from the existing data file. So now when I open file name Jessica for mode say input, so this time I am opening that file to only to read. All right, only to read what are the information or what is the data available in that file, inside that file. Okay, so now there is third mode, it is append. All right, and the purpose of append mode is to add more records in the existing data file from the end of the file ko antim line bata it is going to add some information or some data. So I opened a file named Jessica for mode append and file number say 12. All right, so in append mode we are going to add additional information, just like you took additional paper, right, in your during your examination. So that is for additional purpose, right? You want to add some more data, some more information in your answer sheet. Just like that, there is this append mode. Append mode means what? You are taking additional data, you are going to add additional data. So here's example is open sales.txt for output as file number 1. So this means we are opening or creating a file name, data file name sales.txt for a purpose, that is output to create, and we have given it as file number 1. So once we created a file, okay, so once we created a file, and then we have to use some other statements. What we are going to do actually, are we going to input, are we going to just to read, right? So this number 2 statement is input statement. So you all are very much familiar with this statement. We have used it thousands of times during our programming sessions, right? It takes a data from a user, simple as that. So when a user have to input a data, he use this statement, input statement. All right, so let's talk about number 3rd statement. It says write statement, write hashtag statement, and within a bracket writing on a file. So that means when we want to write something on a file, all right, that time we use this write statement, simple as that. Or keep in mind, this is the syntax: write file number, write file number variable list. All right, so write, we are going to write file number is so I opened again a maile file kholeko थियो, file number was 1. So I am going to write in file number 1 what I am going to write, whatever the values of code dollar, name dollar, and rate is. So rate ko value user le input garcha, user is going to input the values of code, name dollar, and rate. All right, and it will be written in file number 1. Tesko naam ke cha, we'll see it later on. And next, the 4th statement, it says closing the file, close statement, CLO close, and then hashtag we have to use. All right, Ishan, so this statement closes one or more open sequential data file. So if we are opening 2 data files at a time, that means we are going to close 2 data files, simple as that. हामीले जति ओपन गरेको छ फाइलहरु त्यति फाइलहरु क्लोज पनि गर्नु पर्यो. All right, so now read me again Here is this question. Can you find out this question from your book and tell us what is the page number? I am opening up this QB64 here. All right, this folder. So in this folder, here is this. Is it visible? Sum of digit.bas. Yes, this is .bas file. This is a program file, and with this program file, last time we entered some values, right? 25, and the outcome was 7. So now we cannot use that values again. We cannot go through that values anymore, but program is with us because that was a program file. Okay, so here is sales.bas as well. So I did return it earlier. So now is this screen visible now? So the question is, see, write a program to create a data file, sales.txt. I did a little change with .dat here, to store item code, item name, quantity, and rate per quantity. All right, so this is the program. So let me share you QBasic one. Okay, so here is this. So very first, what do we have to do? We have to open a file, isn't it, guys? You can see there clearly in your book. We are opening a file, and there is like a open and then C, that is the extension. All right, that is the location where our file is present. All right, so I am directly right here txt. So by this means I'm writing the name of a file directly, so it will be stored, all right, saved in that QBasic folder only. Okay, so open sales.txt. This means this file is going to open. For what purpose? For output. Output means we are going to create this file. Let's say give this file as number 1. This is it. After that, this do. All right, you see what is this do? Suyas Khanal, do you know what is this do? Suyas Khanal, yeah, speak up. Suyas and Alicia P. Suyas? Okay.
Sir?
Yeah, what is this do? Do here?
यसले त्यो काम गर हुन्छ
Yes, do भनेपछि गर हुन्छ, तर यो गर भन्ने को हो? यो do भनेको को हो? Do भनेको थाहा छैन? Loop हो. All right, so there was loops, right? For loop, while loop, and do loop. You forgot it, boy, but you remember how it works. Okay, thank you for that. So this means we are going to, after that, what is that? Enter the name, quantity, right? Enter the quantity. All right, so this is done. Let me take that all. So this is our program, right? Same from our book. So what happens? We need to, this input statements, you know it very well, right? So after that, okay, there's a lot of messages popping up. So let me go through once. Okay. All right. So I have taken here sales.txt. All right. So I have not taken .dat extension. So that extension is for the system purpose. So for that reason I have taken this txt, and it will be easier for us to open this data file in text in notepad. All right, notepad support.txt. So for that reason I have taken this. So if you take it .dat, we don't have that application to open up that .dat file. Okay, so code, so whatever the code entered, it is going to be stored in this variable only. So this, writing this 7 lines, all right, so this is going to input, write all the values in this inside this file, sales.txt file. All right, and then this input statement is there. Again we have to input something. So let's run this program first. Sital. Okay, today 100%. So creating .exe file. Okay, so we have created that sales.txt. So enter item code. Say item code is 1. Enter name. Enter name is say llama. Enter the quantity. Say 2. Enter the rate per quantity. Llama very expensive. Say $900. All right. Do you want to add more data? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So I guess now it is visible, right? So without sharing, I was entering data. So now this is the third last step of our program. It says, do you want to add more data? Of course, yes. Enter item code again. So because we are inside a loop, for that reason this programs asked me, and we are again repeating the same thing. Okay, enter item code. Okay, item code is say 0t. What is the name of item? Item name is say samyog. All right, and then enter the quantity. So only one quantity, and rate per quantity this. Do you want to add any more data? So for now say no. So this program is finished. It says press any key to continue. All right, so we created a data file. Just now we created a data file. So let's see if this data file is present somewhere. Okay, so is this screen visible to you? So inside this folder we just created this sales, and inside this sales you see here properly there is this data. See, 01 llama to 900 and 02 samyog 1 and 99. This is how our, this is here, right? We can see it here properly. So this is the file we created. All right, Simon, call your friends through messenger, call them just for 5 more minutes. Call all of them. Okay, all right, let me share this screen. Okay, let me close this output screen. All right, Sarah, see, I'm going to save this file. All right, so what name to provide this? Say sale, that is no extension name. Extension name will be provided to the program file by a system defaultly. All right, by default they will get extension name. So I entered there. So now we save that file also, right? Sale.txt, that program, and then we create a data file. All right, so let's go through that data file once. See here, you can see a files here. This is the cell. All right, where it is. So I am inside a folder of QB64. Here, this is the cell. Inside cell, here is the data. You see, 1, 2, llama, samyuk to the right side there. Okay, and I created that cell.bas file. Okay, so this one is a, okay, so now done. This cell.bas, this .bas is a program file, while this sales.txt, this is a data file. So the advantage of data file is that we can retrieve that data again. All right, so in your book page, introduction, and then the second page, there's the advantage. All right, please go through that. So let me take you the program again. So previously, what is the program? What is the data of program? You know, right? In data file, we entered a llama and then what? Samyog, right? So this time, so let's try to run this program again. All right. So let's run this program again. फिर run गर्छ है त यो program. So enter item code. It says enter item code. So this time I will take, okay, say 25. Item code is 25. Name is say Nishit. All right. Enter the quantity, say 12. Rate per quantity, say 85. Do you want to add more data? All right. Again. Do you want to add more data? Yes, I want to add more data. All right. Okay. So after this, now Pratigya. So enter item name, say 23. All right. Enter the quantity, say 8, and then rate per quantity, say 6. Do you want to add more data? This is repeating because of a loop we have used here. All right, and then I want to say no. All right, press any key to continue. See here down below, press any key to continue. This means we have created a file, data file. All right. So in your book, if in page number 207 or 208, after just this program, you see there inside a blue box, one note is given there. Sumika, please can you read that note? If you have book, do you have?
Note.
Yeah, note. What is written there? Please read that for us.
This program creates a new file and writes the data from the beginning. If the file already exists, then overwrites on existing data because we have opened the file in output mode.
Okay. So what do you understood by reading this? Anyone? All right, let me take you to that file. All right, so now that files, what was the file name? File name was sales.txt, right? So let's open this file. See, what do you see now? 25 Nisit, 12 and 85 is there. All right, so what we have understood, try to analyze that. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay students, have a good time. We'll continue from this point tomorrow. All right, so go through your book once. Have a good time. Take care and bye bye. Out of 16, Sahara Subedi, Rimi, Pratigya, Nisit, Jessica, everybody, Dakshata, Ayush Tamang, you are also welcome. Shout out to everybody. Bye bye.